Good morning. Happy, what is today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning. And a great trading session so far. We are just getting out of some high impact news. As you guys can see, I am green right now. It's the first time I've been green coming onto the stream in a while. It used to be the norm, and then I would end up red by the end of the session, but we're not gonna do that today. Hopefully. Put my phone on the charger. This sell is kind of flipping back and forth from valid to invalid to valid to invalid, but we are a little too close to this buy rotation level anyway, so I'm not gonna take it. If we pull back far enough, I probably would. But then also we gotta watch out for here. What is the, all right, it's the top. All right, I was looking for it, but the POC dropped too far, so. All right, and no buy here. Good morning, Trenches. He hasn't said anything yet. I was watching Trades by Matt recap from yesterday. I don't always watch them, but I did start to watch it, and I kind of like the fact that while he's streaming, he will pull up the video of whatever news event it is. I think that's pretty cool. I might do that in the future. I didn't understand a damn thing that man was saying. Maybe I was kind of half asleep too, but it was pretty cool though. I always wondered if you would get copyrighted from doing that, but obviously he's not, because he would stop if he was. Or it could be the type of copyright where it doesn't matter, they're not going to strike your channel or anything. But yeah, so the one trade that I took is back here somewhere. I took a divergence trade right before we changed trend bias. So I was in a downtrend bias. Took the sell right there. Took about 30 seconds to TP. And then this is what it looks like on the 30-second chart. I think it went like one tick beyond my take profit and then reversed. So not too bad. Not too bad. The name of the game is no missed trades today. I did do quite a bit of studying too. Yesterday took me a few hours, I think. Maybe not that long, but I finished that. I also caught myself up in my trade journal because, yeah, I was behind quite a bit. I don't think I'd used the trade journal at all last week, so I had to go in, make all the session recap notes, attach screenshots to all the trades, and then I did decide to, the screenshot that I show you guys at the end of each session where it shows like the accounts dashboard with all the trail and drawdown and stuff, I decided to upload those to each day as well as a screenshot from Rhythmic. Put those in the session recaps. I don't know why I wasn't doing that before, and I don't know where I got the idea out of nowhere, but I was like, I probably should put that in there. So I had to do that too, but it's all caught up. Then I had to go through and make sure that any trades that like are not valid anymore, I've categorized them as such in the trade journal, and did all of that, because sometimes I'll go back in my physical one and write that something's invalid now, or maybe something I thought was invalid is now valid, that kind of thing. But I always forget to go and do it in the online one, so which is important because that's the only way for me to be able to look at the stats and be able to interpret the stats properly. It's making sure that I do that. No sell here because we pushed off of a buy rotation level, so no sell going towards that. Good morning, Applejacks. How are you this morning? How's you guys' trading going so far this morning? So I'm just waiting on a pullback again. But yeah, so just that one trade so far, which I'm not mad at. We do have crude oil coming at 9:30, which isn't really gonna affect me, but I still sit out for those 2 minutes and restart. I'm gonna not sit like that. That's why my back's been hurting. I was so tired yesterday, y'all. It was raining literally all day. I had errands to run that I said, she will not. So I did see that it was supposed to be sunny all day today. So I'm gonna run my errands today and I feel so much better. I don't know what it is about the rain, but I get so tired. I'm just glad I didn't have a sinus headache, because that comes a lot with the rain like that. So at this point, I literally only have one on my cheat sheet that is a question mark. One. No. Yes. Finally. I would have no spots or 1 or 2 spots, but then I would see something that's like a potential setup. So then now I've added another question mark. All of the question marks are gone except one. And it's basically the trade where like this, where we come off of a session high or low and we don't pull all the way back to my minor, either of my levels. It just kind of like hangs in la la land and reverses. I don't know if I like trading them yet. I used to, but I haven't really been keeping track of it that much, to be honest. So I'm going to have to start tracking it. I'm probably going to track it for a while before I feel comfortable taking the trades, but we'll see. Because I don't want it to be a break-even moment, because we don't like those. So if it's not going to have a high probability of winning, we're just not going to do it. We're just not. So we'll see. And I think so. I tried them saucy nuggets. Trash! Ah! Why were they trash? Is this okay? Wait, is it the nugget? Well, it can't be the nuggets, because if you like the nuggets, it's not the nuggets. So it has to be the sauce. Is it the sauce that's trash? Was it the sauce that you tried that was trash? What is it? Does the sauce make them super soggy? What is it? I would tell him you said it was trash. I'm weak. Because if I'm not mistaken, 2 of my best friends like those saucy nuggets. That's hilarious. And which kind did you try? Good morning, True Seeker. How are you this morning? One word: trash. Period. Oh, I'm weak. Wait, which resistance level did we just pass? The second one. All right, we got 2 more before it's super extended. Wait, did we change? Okay, we did temporarily change. I was gonna say, basically from 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon until 8:38 this morning, it was an uptrend bias, which I have not seen in a very long time. We temporarily switched to a downtrend bias from 8:38 to 8:49. So it was just a pretty deep pullback, and then we started pushing up again. was gonna be weak. What word? Trash. Garlic parmesan. Good morning, Husk. How are you this morning? The sauce made them feel slippery. I couldn't even finish them. I was so mad. But wait. So were they nasty or they were just trash because they were slippery? Because that's the difference. Because if they were still good as far as taste goes, then maybe they weren't completely trash. And do you typically like the garlic parmesan? Well, I guess they don't usually. It's just a sauce. So yeah, never mind. Do you usually like the garlic parmesan sauce? Like, do they sell it on the side with your nuggets? I don't know. I haven't had chicken nuggets in so long. And I don't think I've ever had chicken nuggets from Wendy's, actually. Ever. I think just, obviously, McDonald's, which I hated for a long time. And then Chick-fil-A. That is hilarious. What is this? Oh, yeah. I forgot. They did extend the sale, I think, into the 31st, right? I looked at that last night and forgot to change it. Y'all, I have been going crazy because I am trying my hardest, my absolute hardest to code this damn indicator. And it just refuses to work right. It freaking refuses. How many? It says 21 days. Yeah, 31st in. It literally refuses, and I'm so over it. So over it. I can't. I literally can't. Hold on. I'm trying to change the. Y'all, I'm so over it. Legit, in my very first code, there's only. I guess this one, right? Did it change? Yeah. There's one symbol, not even a line in the code. There's one symbol that causes an error because since I'm compiling this on an old version of NinjaTrader, which maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll download a newer version of NinjaTrader on my other computer, compile it over there, and then send the file to myself to this older one. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know if that'll work, but I'm thinking that it should because, I mean, other indicators that I use the updated version of them and they've been updated to work on the... Why didn't I think of this before? I think I'm going to do that today. Because I'm compiling this on an older version of NinjaTrader. It's using an old C+ or whatever type of coding, like the syntax for it, and so I have to use I think it's like the string format versus interpolated strings. I don't know, whatever. So every time I fix that one symbol, it then causes other issues. So then I fix that, like I have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I finally fix it. One line of coding picks me up again. And then we're back to square one. And it just keeps going and going and going. And it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. So I have not figured it out yet. But I am. But I need it because when I tell you guys my journaling takes so long now because I'm having to save or, screenshot my charts while I'm journaling. It's just driving me crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It really is. So if I can fix this damn indicator coding, I can make it to where it's gonna automatically save my chart on entry and exit, save it to my hard drive. I have the format for like the name of the picture to where it's gonna be really easy for me to just know which trade it's associated with and everything. But that one little damn symbol, it's causing me issues. So I think maybe today, if I have time, I'll try to, like I said, download the new version of NinjaTrader on my other computer because I don't want to do it on this one. because I do not want that new one on this damn computer. So I'll do it on the other one, do everything over there, compile it over there, and see if it works. If I send it to myself with a newer version of the C+ coding, we'll see. But it's driving me crazy. Good. I think you wanted to watch you new trade. Oh, I'm still really trading the same setups, honestly, Husk. I just had to make adjustments. I have 8 setups, so obviously all 8 don't set up all the time. And because when I switched to the POC type of trading about a month and a half ago, I only had a week's worth of backtesting data, which obviously is not enough. But I'm not in a rush, so I just said whatever. Over time, I'll just collect all the data that I need, and it's gonna take time, and it's okay. I'm willing to do that. But I think we've adjusted ourselves to the point where there's no more adjustments that can be made, except the one little question mark that I have on my cheat sheet as far as whether I want to do this particular setup or not. Other than that, everything else is finalized, y'all. The 3 trades that I lost yesterday, one of the very last trade that I lost, where I got stopped out by 1 bar and then it went in my direction, my dumbass, I wasn't paying attention to where the trade was located. And based on where the trade was located, and this is literally always been a rule of mine, based on where the trade was located, I wasn't supposed to take the trade anyway. When I went and I started journaling and I got to that last trade, I looked at that chart and I said, ain't no damn way. I scrolled back, and I said, it's no way you made this rookie mistake. Now, the other 2, I remember one of them I said, I remember it was a regular pullback to my middle level, and I said, I have a feeling that where the previous bar reacted off of, how it reacted off my minor level was the problem. It was. In almost 2 months, it's only set up that particular way twice. One the first time, and actually that time that it won was actually in April. It wasn't even in the last 2 months. Since then, it's never set up like that ever again until yesterday, and it lost. Yeah. But it makes sense why that particular setup, that's an issue. So I'm glad that I figured it out, but it's like, well, dang. And then I forgot the 3rd trade that I lost. I did end up being able to mitigate that one as well. So we're good here. I think with that one, the problem was it was a no clear of my major level, which is fine. But what happened with the previous bar, I couldn't get a color change of the bars, and the color changed. And it's just something that I didn't even realize until I wrote out all the other times that it set up the exact same way. And that was the one time out of, I think, 11 in the last 2 weeks. One time in the last 2 weeks, 11 trades that it lost. And it's because it was the only time that the damn color changed in the bars. So yeah, we learned a lot from yesterday. And I told you guys that yesterday, like, the choppy days when I'm losing, it's always going to be learning lessons. Always. Always. All right. We have a bias change here. Oh, damn. I forgot to put that over there. I forgot. I used to eat the Wendy's spicy nuggets back in the day. If they have that sauce, I'm writing corporate to throw it in the trash. Damn. You are ruthless. I'm weak. Let's see. I can't take that though. Chick-fil-A is queen. I agree, even though I can't eat it anymore. I used to just still go like to get a large fry with a large lemonade, no ice, and a large mac and cheese. But baby, that meal used to be, well, not without the mac and cheese, with just a large fry and a large lemonade. I remember when that meal was like $3 and some change. Not even. I think it used to be like $2.60 something. The price now, oh, y'all are crazy. I'll just go get me a big old bag of frozen waffle fries from Walmart, and I'll cook them my damn self. No worries. So I traded on the accounts, and now the biggest day is like 31% and some change. That's not bad though. Hopefully, well, you might go into review for it because I did when I was watching Alpine's replay yesterday, I did see, hold on. What trade is this? Oh. W, which it is. I did see that he said he's in review because he's over 30% on a couple of his accounts, and he said that it was due to the rhythmic issues that one day. Trying to see if I'm gonna take the sell. We got a zigzag change, but it's nothing I could do about that. If it loses, it just loses. I don't really like it. If it comes back down, I'll break even because it's gonna lose. That's fine. I was gonna break even because my entry was, oh, I thought my entry was further than it was. I thought it was further into the bar, but that's fine. I really just started, I actually might change this again. I don't know. Wait, let me make sure it was actually valid. Yeah, it was. I might change this again, and I don't know. I don't really like how it pushed off the bottom of the zone, but I started taking these again because they were working out. But I'm pretty sure this is what it's gonna be. I can take them, but it has to be divergence. It can't be a regular pullback. I'm pretty sure when I go look at the data, that's what it's gonna tell me. I'm pretty sure. I look at it. There it goes. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I think the same thing has happened to me on the pullbacks to my middle level. This one was to my major level. I'm pretty sure the same thing has happened at my middle level as well. So I think today that's probably going to be the only thing that I'll end up having to look at is that I can push back towards the zone. I always, even if I do take the trade, I always break even at the top of it if the break even comes before the take profit. But you can see I wasn't wrong. I just was early for my type of setup because my stop loss is so tight. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. It could be divergence, but it cannot be a regular pullback. And you can see it's a regular pullback because we have the lower high, lower low, lower high. It just is a super deep pullback, but I'm pretty sure that's the problem. I'm pretty sure, and I can almost guarantee you that I just lost that way recently, but I wasn't paying attention to that being the issue. Because like I said, I stopped trading that way a while ago, but then I realized it wasn't the fact that it reacted off of the level that was causing the problem. It's just that my setup, the rules for it wasn't all the way right yet. So I'm pretty sure if I go find another example, most of my examples of wins are going to be divergence and most of the losses are going to be regular pullbacks. I can almost guarantee you. I have been looking at it's not another setup, but some other trades that I've been sitting out of because I noticed losses ever since, what was it? I feel like it was June 21st? June 21st is when I first started paying attention to the POC not clearing a level and being able to take those particular trades. And I noticed that some of the other setups that I haven't been able to take because the POC wasn't clearing, that I can probably now take them. but I'll have to track them a little longer first. Come on, baby, push through. Oh, there's a TP. Oh, I wasn't filled on the take profit, you guys. Oh wait, there was no zigzag change right there. What's over here? You dirty bastard. That was an example of a no clear. But it's cool that I wasn't filled on the TP because technically it should have only been a break even anyway. My entry was one tick into the entry bar versus one tick beyond it. And it went 16 ticks. So technically it was supposed to be a break even no matter what. So I guess I'll deal with it. I guess. But the most important thing is I'm taking every trade. Gold was nice to me. I'm done. I feel it. Have I tried any other futures clients other than Ninja? Justin, I used to trade with Thinkorswim a long time ago. And I actually liked Thinkorswim because it was very easy for me to code think scripts, which is what they call their scripts for indicators. But I think besides Thinkorswim, that's probably the only two platforms that I've used. But I've traded binary options on Nadex, Forex. Obviously, I used MT4 before. I hate TradingView. I don't know why people like it. But yeah, NinjaTrader to me is the best platform for what I try to do because I like the ATM strategies, how easy it is to use, and how efficient it is. And I also feel like if you are someone who does use indicators, that NinjaTrader has the best database as far as whether it's free or paid indicators, because most people who make indicators make them for NinjaTrader as far as futures go, obviously. But I've had a lifetime license with NinjaTrader for 5 years. 5 whole years. Oh yeah. Yeah, I loved Thinkorswim, I'm not gonna lie. Top Step finally sent my first payout. Since I'm green, I can request. Hey, congratulations, Applejacks. How long did it take? How long did it take? I'm gonna tell you guys. When I first was looking at Top Step, the whole make $200 for 5 days in order to request a payout was a huge turnoff. But I think it was probably because I was so used to trading micros on my live account at the time. And even then, I mean, I used to intraday swing trade, so I was earning $200 or more per day doing it most of the time. But I don't know why it was such a huge turnoff to me. But I think that after trading with Apex for as long as I have at this point, when they introduced the idea of doing that, but I think their number was 150, I was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of for it. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of unfair for people who do 25K accounts. But at the same time, if you are reaching the payout threshold every 10 days, you have to average $160 a day anyway. So I feel like they thought about that when they made the number 150 versus 200. But I still feel for the people who Because there are a lot of people who do 25K accounts and they intraday swing trade with micros and they do not make $150 a day because they go for payouts once a month versus twice. So I kind of feel for those people, but maybe you just need to use bigger accounts and go from there. I don't know. Let's see. No buy. Obviously, we have a the previous bar reacted off of, and I can't damn see because my light is reflecting off of my monitor over there. All right, that's better. Yeah, previous bar reacted off of a resistance level, so no buy. I'm really just looking for the next pullback. Good morning, Erwin. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. 2 weeks, but also they didn't ask for my bank info until last week. Hopefully the next payout is quicker. Yeah, hopefully they are. Maybe it's just that first payout thing. Wait, what is that? It's a double top start. I can't take this sell because most people that I see when they are complaining about Apex and the time that it takes for them to get their payouts, they always talk about how all the other prop firms, I requested this day and 3 days later it was in my account kind of thing. So maybe it is that. It kind of reminds me of like international traders with Apex, how, you know, they send them the invite to plane like a week later, 4 to 7 days later. So that's probably what it was with you since it was your first payout. It took a long ass time to ask you for your banking info, but you should be good now. Do any of you guys use Quantower? And if so, did the beta version help with all the disconnects? All right, let's see if we use this zone as support. I mean, not support, if we use it as resistance or we reject and start pushing up again. I just deleted that last change zone because it's irrelevant now. I forgot it was even there. I think that's where, yeah, that's where we changed from the downtrend to the uptrend. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, that trade that I lost, like literally, what was that? Last Tuesday. I'm looking at the other times that last Monday, I lost that same exact trade, except the color changed twice, so it was a little bit different because I think the color changing twice is actually my problem with that trade, but it was still the same exact setup and it lost, besides the color changing twice. I'm pretty sure that's what the problem is, though. The fact that it was just a regular pullback instead of divergence. Because Tuesday, there were 2 times that it set up that way, but it was divergence and they both won. Friday the 28th, set up that way, divergence, win. Pretty sure I figured out the problem. Pretty sure. All right. I don't know about this trade because it's a double top end, and I don't think I've ever taken a trade like this with a double top end. So Applejacks, you can't yell at me, but I'm gonna sit out of this trade only because I don't think I've ever seen a double top end with this trade, and if I have, I haven't been paying attention to it. The POC is where I want it to be, but normally so this is an alternate pullback, but in my regular pullbacks, a double top end, I want the POC to be in the wick. But in order for this setup to be proper, the POC has to be in the body. So, which is where it is right now if this candle reverses down, but it looks like it's not going to. And now we've just made it not a setup. So it works because our show was confuzzled. Like, do I have to keep it in the wick since it's a double top end or no? It looks like it didn't matter. I knew we were gonna push too far, which is not necessarily a problem, but now I can't. Even if it pushes down, I have to worry about the end of the zone, which is where I'm going to break even. So if my entry is too close to the end of the zone, we're just not even going to chance it, because it could just hit that zone, pop up, and stop me out before I can manually break even there. I don't yell, I just do it in anger. Same thing. For being my sensitivity, it's the same thing. I'm using Quantire for bullet knocks. No disconnects, but it's a paid version. I wonder if that's the thing then. I wonder if that's it. Because I feel like, well, I haven't been watching Alpine lately. I haven't been watching anyone. I've been in my own little world, which is what I do sometimes. But I haven't seen him say anything about the disconnects. And I know he's on a paid version, so maybe that's it. I don't know. Good morning. Now when it's 27%? Yes. Yes. You're pushing for the payout for the 15th, right? Oh yeah, are you still waiting to be approved? Because didn't you say that y'all know my memory is bad, but didn't you request on the 3rd, I feel like? Now that was a win there. But that's a little bit different because so that setup that I lost earlier, when it set up on the 27th, it did win. However, I feel like I kind of know the difference between them and why one won and one didn't. Pretty sure, actually. Is that? Nope. Alright, yeah. I think I got it figured out. Alright, I am interested in the sale, but if the zigzag changes, I will have to break even because we have a color change here. Okay. Well, you know, just do what the hell you want to do instead. That's fine too. That's fine. That bar is going to close on that rotation level, which is going to be a problem. Oh, and now I can't take the trade. Pull back to my middle level. The middle level is weak, which is not a problem, but it's the second weak level in a row for that one. And for regular pullbacks, I can't take that trade. Which, let's see if this is the one time it's going to work out. Most of the time, it does not work out at all. Single week levels are fine, but double, triple, quadruple, no. And actually, it didn't even matter because the trade ended up invalidating itself anyway. POC is in the body. I needed it to be in the wick, but either way, it was going to be an invalid trade. So my quant tower is on a Windows VPS in Chicago. I love VPS. Honestly, if I ever was like, if I had issues with like my internet, RAM, anything like that on my computer, I would definitely use a VPS. I have a well, the VPS that I use right now is a cheap one. I don't use it for trading, but I have a cheap VPS for what is that noise? I'm sorry guys, hold on. Oh. Somebody got off the stream. Oh my god. That just drove me nuts. But yeah, so I have like virtual assistants that need it for a business. Wait, why did everybody get off so early today? He only streamed for 37 minutes. Why? I wonder if he's starting to do like a max loss daily type of thing. Oh no, are these accounts that I feel like his accounts were still pending? I think he's under the threshold now. I don't know if he got oh nope, big payouts approved, so that's why. Nice. Alright, so now this is a little different because it is still at this weak level, but it's the second touch of it. I can't even see that. But it's not a valid trade though. There's no level, so I can't be, POC can't be inside. We got an hour left in the session. Today is actually going by pretty fast, honestly. But yeah, I'm curious. It looks like that's gonna be the only thing that I need to study is that one loss today. That one little loss. But if I go from red to break even, that's progress. That means we go from break even back to green. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, I'll have to look through both of my little journals to see all those instances. I don't want to have to study too much today because I need to run errands and I got shit to do. Finally have my money to pay the moving company price fee. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. How much longer do you have where you are? You requested on the 2nd. Are you still pending or under review? Paul recommended Kamatera in Discord a while back. Been using them for the past month. I'm gonna write that one down. Are they pretty good? I'm assuming if you've been using it for the past month, you must be having a pretty good experience with it, right? Come on, push through, you dirty bastard. When I tell y'all the most annoying thing is coming onto the stream green and ending up red, I promise y'all it's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying. Super annoying. And I wonder if this is gonna, if we push up here, I wonder if this is gonna turn into a rotation level, because that's been causing me issues sometimes, I think. And that's really annoying. I like getting stopped out and the price just goes completely opposite. I don't like being stopped out by a couple of ticks and it going exactly where I want it to go. That's extremely annoying. You're not wrong. You're just wrong for what you're doing. What was I? 153.50 high of. That's frustrating. Only thing I didn't like about this trade, but again, I don't have rules for this. The POC was literally like right inside of the zone, but again, I don't have rules for it. So, and we don't trade at the zone like that very much. This was a divergence trade at my major level that was inside of the zone. That's really the only thing I can think of that would be an issue there, but stuff like that, it doesn't happen often enough for me to make it a thing, you know what I mean? So it just is what it is. But yeah, doesn't take away from the irritation at all. And technically, without that loss earlier, I would be break even basically right now, because I feel like that's the one that I can quantify. This is a loss I can't quantify, I don't think, but the other one I can. How many ticks was that? That was 5 ticks. So I got stopped out by a point just for it to go in my intended direction. Woohoo. Cause what the? Still not doing 1 bar pullbacks for now. So if this ends up being that, I'm not going to trade it. I would rather see it come up a couple of bars and then reverse than I could take it, but it looks like it might end up being a 1 bar pullback. Maybe not. Make a note of this so I remember this exact change after loss. So I know for sure that zigzag was still green at the time when I lost the trade. Because if the zigzag had changed while I was actually in the trade, I would have broken even there, but it didn't. It did not. That's so annoying. Good morning, Mike. How are you this morning? Good morning, Clarity. How are you guys? You're still pending. 2 weeks. I know you happy. VPS is solid. I have some gripes about Quant Tower copy trading more than 10 accounts. You know what? I feel like 10 accounts is like where people have a gripe about everything, honestly, whether it's Quant Tower. I've seen people say the same thing about Tradeovate. I don't know about NinjaTrader. I think it could possibly depend on which copy trader you're using for NinjaTrader. That just reminded me I have somebody to respond to on Discord because they said that they were having issues with the Apex copier, and I told them can't help you there, but I haven't used the Apex copier in months. When they updated that interface with all those flatten all buttons, it drove me insane. Like when I downloaded it and I seen all those red buttons, it gave me so much anxiety. I uninstalled it immediately and reverted back. But now, and I said something to them when they first came out with that interface, like saying, hey, like maybe you guys should think about keeping the old version in the desktop assistant, because there are people who don't like the features of the new one. It desyncs a lot and things like that, but they never did it. So I had already bought the one from Affordable Indicators on a 40% sale, and I kind of had it like sitting in the background, and then one day I just tried it and I was like, oh, we'll uninstall that other one right away. And he's made some updates to it since, and I just love it. But the main thing that I love is the fact that I use the orders mode instead of the executions mode. So all of my followers have their own limit orders, which is really important to me. Are you not going to use this resistance level as a level of resistance? Nope. But yeah. Don't tell her I said that. I can see. Thank y'all. Thank you guys. My payout is under review. Should I be worried? No. Don't be worried. So initially when they came out with the under review thing, a lot of people were worried about the under review, and I remember that I feel like it was Chris. Chris, who works in HR, corporate, whatever. I remember him coming in and saying that under review is no different from pending. They just added a new status. But it seems like, and that could have been the thing when it first came out, but it seems like now that it possibly is an actual status. Because like when I was watching Alpine's stream from yesterday, he said that all of his, so he had one account, I believe, that was already approved, and all the other ones went into under review. And he said those were the ones where he was over 30% on. So I am thinking that now it does mean that, you know, they're just looking at something. Even if you didn't break like a DCA rule, you didn't break the 30%, you didn't break the 20%, I feel like maybe it is like a new status, but I'm not sure. So I don't know. I can only go based off of what they told me. What they told me is not a thing, but seeing is how some people will say like, oh, I was pending for a few days and then I was under review for however many days. It does seem like it is a new status, but don't be worried though. A lot of people that are under review, they get approved. But I know how like in all those videos that John had put out when the whole DCA thing became drama. I remember he was saying like that they look at the easiest accounts to approve and they put all the other ones off to the side to come back to later. And I wonder if there was something that they saw that made them put it off to the side, and maybe when they put it off to the side, that's when it becomes under review. I'm not sure. Also, I was always led to believe that the order was like you had different lists that went to different staff members and it was like an alphabetical thing. It's not at all. A recent before they shut down the Discord, one of the mods, I think it was, has shared a screenshot of Daryl. I guess when he came in at some point, he basically confirmed that everything is randomized. Like the system, when you guys are, when you guys, because I ain't submitted a payout request yet, but when you guys are submitting a payout request, the system just randomizes the order in which they go into review, basically. Oh, shit. I almost took that trade and I can't. The bar is going to close right on the overnight high. Well, the POC just invalidated it anyway, but that would have fucked me over. And I want to get away from the overnight high because, well, now it's setting up, but I don't want to take it because I want to see if it pushes through it. Because remember, I just lost a trade like this not too long ago. Same buy, and there's the loss. So yeah, I am going to make it a thing where I break even at the overnight high and low. But I'll only break even if I'm in a buy and I hit the overnight high and a sell for the overnight low. That's how we'll do that. And that's why I didn't take that one, because literally my entry was on the level. All right, we dropped far enough there. No back body. Let's see what we get. I don't like the zigzag change, but whatever. All right. Nice trade. Needs to wick. Back to break even. Well, that's dumb as hell. I was looking for this entry, but I was waiting. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten filled anyway, but geez Louise. Well, hello. I literally was looking for that entry. I wouldn't have gotten filled. I'll show you guys. Literally, there was no way that was going to fill. But still, damn. Why you just push like that? Goodness gracious. All right, that's invalid. I just need you to clear. All right, it's clear now. This is very interesting. Okay, you don't want to clear? Doesn't know if it wants to push up or down. There's almost 2,000 volume in this candle, which is a lot. What do you want to do? Damn it! I was rooting for you. All right, so that divergence buy right here that just slammed up. Like I said, it was valid. I was looking for it, but I wouldn't have gotten filled. You could see it literally just, there was literally no retracement at all. Price just took off, so I wouldn't have gotten filled on it. 2150. I was definitely hoping that we pushed up in this bar. I was absolutely looking for that buy. That's a really high probability setup. I don't think I've lost that one yet since I've been taking it. I'm almost certain. The POC was exactly where I wanted it to be, but we just had trouble pushing up there. And this is funny because I'm testing the all right, I'll show you. Let me see. So with that particular trade, and give me a second cuz I think, let's see. Trying to see if it's going to set up. But with that particular setup, it was like a rotation over my middle level to try to start this uptrend. And so typically I like it to kind of be in la-la land where the middle level is the only thing that it really touches. But now that I've been doing this whole POC no clear thing, I've noticed in the last couple of days that if it does pull all the way back to my minor level and touches it, I can still take it, but the POC cannot clear the middle level. So that's kind of what I've been working on a little bit. It's kind of what I've been working on. So that's one where when it does set up, I'll just keep watching it. This one was invalid though, because the bar closed right on the color change level, which I don't take trades like that. Anytime the bar closes right on any level, I don't take them. So now that like all of my other setups are pretty much finalized, I am going to start looking at the no clears a little bit more often, because a lot of my setups are invalidated because the POC doesn't clear the level that I'm looking for it to clear. So I've pretty much, the no clears I've gotten down packed at this point for pullbacks to my middle and major levels. But I want to do the rotation of those levels because the rotations can be really, really good trades. They typically start pretty big trends. Now, whether I'll scalp them like I do my regular setups or hold them a little bit longer, I don't know yet, but they can be some really, really good trades. So I'm going to start paying attention to them a little bit more. There's no zigzag attached right now. All right, there we go. Okay. Good morning, Rio. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Christian. How are you guys? Good morning. Good morning. You're welcome, Mike. You are a miss. How are you, Rio? How are you, Motion Capital Trading? Good morning. How are you, Christian? Paul must have said something good. I don't know. I don't understand half of what goes on in politics. I just feel like whatever you're going to do, you're going to do. I'll know the effects of it when I go to the cash registers. Now it's becoming too problematic. If you're going to deny it, don't take 2 weeks and then review it for another 2 weeks, especially if you want 10 trading days and they worried about a Discord. Yeah, I agree, Trenches. Trust me. Everybody says don't trade while it's pending, but I could have kept trading if I knew they just put it off to the side and come back 2 weeks. Yeah, I feel like I see both sides of the don't trade it, still trade it. I feel like if you have enough of a cushion where you're not worried about going above 30%, if you're not worried about going below the threshold, then continue trading. Why not? Especially if you want to reach the payout threshold with each payout cycle. Now, if you are someone who you are relying on the money, things like that, and them doing it this way is forcing you to only be able to take a payout once a month. You're still going to have to do it that way, but I always tell people just split your PA. So if you have 10, do 5 for the first payout cycle, 5 for the next, until they kind of get this together, because it is taking a long time. And like I've told other people, I don't ever compare it to other props because other props are not approving as many payouts as Apex is. I think I feel like it was yesterday's stream that Alpine put out, he was saying that June was a $35 million payout month. When I looked at Nutty's video for May was 25 million. Right? So they've increased by 10 million in 1 month, which is crazy because the previous month, April and May were both $25 million months. And then last month, I know for sure was like 11,000 payouts. Not unique names, but just payouts, period. So of course you have people that have multiple. So that's a lot to go through manually. And on one hand, it's a frustrating thing, even though I haven't had to deal with it. But, I'm a trader too. So I think about what it's going to be like when I'm ready to start requesting payouts. And that's annoying as hell. But I also understand from a company standpoint why it's being done, because with them not having a scaling plan and, with the ability to have 20 accounts, with the cheaper prices, they just attract a lot of scammers and people who are trying to play the quote unquote game of props, right? Which is not necessarily, it is a problem if you're scheming and doing it right. So you have to put certain things in place to be able to make sure that you're not paying these people out. But something has to be done to where you can do that, but you're not screwing over the traders that are not scamming and scheming. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair. The people who are scamming and scheming are a small portion, a small percentage of the overall traders that you have. Now, some of them have been scamming and scheming on such a large scale that they might be, able to get bigger payouts than the average trader, which is probably why they're trying to do certain things to prevent that, which is why they manually review everything. However, for the everyday trader, they should not be waiting up to 2 weeks, especially if these are people that are going to end up being approved. Now, while I understand the whole notion of approve the easy ones, put the other ones off to the side, I get it, but I would almost rather, like, if there's anything that's in a person's trade history where you're putting it off to the side, I would rather you have a whole department of people that go through those particular payouts then. Because that way, if they end up being approved, they're not approved on the last day. I think that there's way too many people who are getting approved or denied. I don't really care about the denials, but there are way too many people that are getting approved on the last day, and it's not fair. And I mean, we don't live in a fair world per se, but it's just not cool. But I don't really know what can be done besides not manually reviewing everything. But I feel like before, the only time that your account was flagged when they were shorter staff. I mean, they're still short staff for the hypergrowth that they're dealing with, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Before the hypergrowth, I feel like the only time that your account was really flagged was if you violated the 30% or the 20% rules. And if it wasn't, you got pretty fast approvals. If you did go over one of those two, then you waited a longer time to be denied. But now it's obvious that they manually review everything. And I get it, but it's not okay. It's just not. I know people don't really want a scaling plan, which I wouldn't want a scaling plan either, to be honest with you. But as much as other prop firms can learn from Apex can learn from other prop firms as well, you know? And I think that was kind of the gist of some of the changes that they proposed and making to the payout rules is them learning from other props. Now, I hope that they're able to implement some of the changes without having to also implement a scaling plan, because a scaling plan would be basura. Yeah, it's pretty choppy motion. It's not too bad. I don't feel like it's as choppy as yesterday and Monday, but still not the best. Let me see, how many trades have I taken so far? Why do I go look there and not on the other thing? I've taken 5 so far. 5 is not bad, but I'm pretty sure one of them is now going to be invalid once I look at the data for the other times it's set up, because I'm pretty sure I know why it lost. So it's not horrible, but still I don't like it. I like more like 10 trades in a session, so 5 is not that great. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? How's your trading going? What time do I trade daily? Tony, you're new. Welcome. So I trade from 8:30 Central to 10:45 Central. That's it. That's all. So the first almost 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes of the New York Open. I do not trade afternoon. I don't do none of that. That's it for me. I can't do no more. I used to intraday swing trade in my live accounts up until about 2 years ago. Excuse me. And I was on the charts all day, every day. And no. And when I say all day, every day, I mean it. Like New York, I would trade like 8:30 to 11. Then at one point I was starting at 7 o'clock. And actually, probably this time last year, I actually was trading at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was starting then. And then I would stop around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I would come back from 12 to 2. That was when I was actually starting to develop this strategy, because I'm literally trading the same way I've been trading. I've just had to change the actual strategy, but the setups have not changed. It's just how I trade them have changed over time, which this is probably the best strategy that I've created for these particular setups. But yeah, when I intraday swing traded, I would do most of New York. I would trade the first hour of the market opening in the evening, and then I would come back around like 1 o'clock in the morning, trade to like 4, and do it all over again the next day. Yeah, I was tired all the time, but I was pretty profitable though. And I loved everything about the way that I was trading before. I just didn't like being on the charts all day. And that's why when I started on YouTube, I was like, all right, we're going to try to figure out scalping, because I refuse to be on the charts all day. If I cannot make all the money that I need to make in the first 2.5 hours of market open, I'm just not going to do it. So it's been a roller coaster. Before I don't even know how I was trading when I first came to YouTube. I don't even know what my strategy was. Again, it was the same setups, but the strategy was way different. And then I started trading volume in January, and I never traded volume before. And I'm trading on Renkos on top of that. So Renko, there's not a lot of Renko content. There's absolutely no data out there regarding Renko and volume put together. So I was trading volume in a way before where I was looking at the volume of the last 2 swings and then the current entry reversal bar and the last 2 reversal bars, and I was comparing them. And that's how I was trading volume before. And then eventually I was like, okay, I don't feel like, after months and months and months of doing that, I felt like I wasn't really making any progress. I would have good days and then I would have really bad days, and it was just kind of like a seesaw, and I was just over it. So I was like, all right, I don't think the way I'm trading volume is working, so let me try something different. And I've always heard people talk about like point of control and value area and things like that, and I had downloaded this indicator. It's free. It's called the TC Bar Profiler. I had downloaded it when I say years ago, and every time I put it on my chart, I was like, ew, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. But when I was tired of trading volume the way I was before, around the end of May, so from January 1st pretty much until almost the end of May, I was trading volume the other way. So I was like, all right, something's got to give. Let's put this bar profiler back on my charts and see if there's some way that I can still look at the volume of the swings, because I still feel like that's important. Knowing if, the volume of this swing before I enter is more volume than the previous swing in the same direction, because looking at that can kind of tell you sometimes if the trend is strong or not. But I no longer cared about the volume in this reversal bar, this one, and then my entry reversal bar. Now I look at the volume of swing A, B, and C. That's how I do it. I don't do A, B, C, D. So A, B, C. I look at those volumes, and then I look at where the point of control is in my entry bar. And that's it. And I've been loving it, even though I've made slow progress a little bit. That's really my fault, because I didn't feel like backtesting. I took 1 week of data, created some rules, and said to hell with it. Every day when I'm taking the trades, I will use that data to try to, make adjustments to my strategy. And I knew it was going to take me time, but I'm not in a rush, so I didn't care. But now I feel like my strategy is about as good as it gets. I can't make it any better. There's always just like little small things, like one of the trades that I lost earlier, just small things that I can't really control, and it doesn't set up often. So I'm taking 8 different setups. Well, really it's kind of more than that, but I take 3 different versions of pullbacks. Well, really it's 5, because I take pullbacks at a minor half trend, a middle half trend, and a major half trend level. And then I take divergence trades. But with the divergence trades, they're different. I have a counter trend version and a with the trend version. So like right now, if I was to take this sell, this is obviously divergence, but my overall trend bias is a downtrend. So this is still with the trend. It's not counter trend. So because I have different versions of the setups, and each setup doesn't happen every day, it just took time for me to be able to get enough setups or enough trades for each setup to be able to make things work. So it's been an uphill battle, but I can say that ever since I started trading this way, even though I only started with a week's worth of data, I have not had a whole lot of really, really bad days at all. I think I might have had like one day where I lost like $700 per account, but that was like when I first started with the strategy. But most of the time I'm losing less than $300 per account when I am having a losing day, which is not horrible to me, especially with having limited data. So the biggest thing for me, and what my problem has been this entire time, is that if I just took every setup, even while I was still in the midst of developing the strategy, I would have been fine. I would have been fine. The problem is I was only taking the setups where I was pretty sure about, and then I was sitting out of the ones that I was still questioning because I was still in the early developmental stages, right? So whenever that happened, most of the trades that I sat out of were winners. It always happens that way. It's like, well, damn, if you just take every trade, you wouldn't have this problem. So that's why I give you guys permission to yell at me, or as Applejacks would say, stew in anger when I don't take setups, because that's been my biggest problem. But like I said, I think that I'm pretty much at that light at the end of the tunnel at this point. Now it's just a matter of getting the repetition in, and getting used to whatever adjustments that I've made, because sometimes I genuinely miss trades because I'm so used to a rule being something else, and now I've made adjustments, but I forgot that I made adjustments, that kind of thing. But I think I'm good at this point. I love the way that I'm trading. I don't see myself fixing anything or making any drastic changes at this point, because I feel like with the way that I'm looking at volume patterns don't really change to me. I feel like ever since I started trading volume, even though I was trading it the wrong way for what I was trying to do before, I feel like I see consistent patterns every single day. Not just with volume, but I also see consistent patterns in how price is reacting to the half trends that I have on my charts, to the pivot levels, which are just support and resistance levels, and everything like that. So I see the consistent patterns. It's just a matter of getting enough chart time in to be able to quantify it. And that's what I've been doing this entire time of developing my strategy. So it's taken some time, but doing something from scratch, you can't expect to be profitable or really successful with it right away, because you're doing it from scratch. I didn't take any part of my strategy from anyone. Literally everything was from scratch. So do I offer to pass evals? Hell no. I would never do that. I don't think it's a good thing to do. Honestly, like, this is just my opinion. I know that some people like pass evals trading the open or full porting and things like that. I don't think it's a good idea, personally. I feel like you should trade your evals the way you trade your PAs. And that's why, for me, like, I could have easily passed these evals doing something else, but why? If I know my strategy is not right, why would I sit there, pass the evals, spend all of this money converting into PAs just to lose them because the actual strategy I want to use is not ready yet? That doesn't make sense. It's also why, in the process of me trying to fail an eval that ended up turning into my first PA, I have not traded it. I traded one day. It was a quick flip because I thought at the time my strategy was going to be ready the following week. So I'm like, in order for me to reach the next payout threshold, I need to just go ahead and flip today, and then, I'll be good. But my strategy wasn't ready yet, so I have not traded it since then. I feel like when you trade your evals in a way that you are not going to trade your PAs, you create really, really bad habits, especially if you're full porting and trading news and things like that, because when you can pass your evals so fast doing things that you should not be doing, well, not that you shouldn't be doing, because with Apex, they don't really care what you do with your evals, but from a psychological standpoint, which is where most people fail in trading, a lot of people, it's not really your strategy. For me, it's my strategy. But for a lot of people, it's not the strategy. It's you going on tilt, and the psychological part of trading. You're messing with that when you pass so fast, full porting or trading news and things like that. So when you get to your PA and you're seeing the smaller numbers of $100 a day, $150 a day, you get frustrated. Even if it's a subconscious thing, you get frustrated because you're not seeing the big numbers that you were seeing when you passed your eval super fast. And I don't think that anybody should ever use services where they pass the evals for you. If you can't pass your own eval, you should not be trading your own PAs. You just shouldn't. It's not good. It's not good at all. Don't do it. Just don't. I I have to find my old trading journal because I do want to make a video on what my intraday swing trading strategy was then that I was really profitable with, because it worked for every instrument that I traded. And I traded multiple bonds. I traded ES, and I feel like I traded Nasdaq as well. Yeah, I did trade Nasdaq as well. And probably the Russell 2000. I don't know if I traded the Dow. I've never really been a huge fan of the Dow, honestly. But I do want to put that content out just because it was a pretty easy strategy, honestly. So I don't know, I might do that. I just have to find the dang on journal because all the journals that I have up here in my bookcase are from Scalping, developing this damn strategy. And there's a lot of notebooks. I go through like a notebook every month. All right. All right, the PLC just changed where I want it to be. But with the bias changing, I don't really know how I feel about there being so much volume in this in that swing. It's almost like it's resisting the bias change, but we enter. There's nothing that says that I shouldn't enter, and I can't get out of it even if the zigzag changes. So we chance it because we take every trade. All right. So here I'm going to break even if it gets back up there. Hopefully it does. And I'm only breaking even because there's no zigzag attached right now. Let's see what ends up happening. Bar 1, then ZZ change. Making notes on my chart. Usually I have an issue if there's no zigzag attached. So we'll see if it ends up losing. But I noticed immediately that there was no zigzag attached to the first bar. Now it could be something where as long as it's attached by bar 3 or something, it doesn't matter. But I don't like to chance that particular one because that's a problem. Because the zigzag that I use, it's based on volume. It's not. And there's the loss. See? Chart time, baby. Chart time. That is where chart time comes in. I already told you I wasn't a fan of it because in those 5 bars, it produced 1.5 thousand volume, and in this previous swing there was only like 500 volume. So with a bias change and it resisting that heavy to where there's more volume in this swing than this one, that lets me know that it's resisting the trend change, right? And then it was confirmed by the zigzag not being attached at all, because I can't take that. Since, you know, a lot of zigzags are just based on whatever, like if it's a trend up, a zigzag up, then it's going to be green. If it's a trend down, it's going to be red. This zigzag does not do that because it's based on volume. So anytime the zigzag is not attached to the very, like the first bar after the reversal candle, which is my entry bar, that's letting me know that there is like it's questionable if the volume is going to be buy volume or seller volume. So that's why I got out. The zigzag change was not really a problem because I don't have a rule to break even with a zigzag change. It was literally only because it was not attached. And that's another reason why I'm trying to create this freaking indicator to screenshot my charts on entry and exit, because I was telling you guys, I think it was a couple of days ago, that yeah, I could quickly I have a hotkey for saving the image, but it's gonna pull up a window right on my screen in the middle of it, and then I'll have to quickly hit enter or S to save it. And in the midst of that, I can miss something that's important. So if that was to pop up on my screen just now, I wouldn't have saw that there was no zigzag attached to that first bar, and then I would have lost this trade for no reason. So that's why I got to fix this thing on coding in this indicator, because I need it so bad. Did I trade in the afternoon session yesterday? Hell no, Janelle, you know I don't do that. Nope. No. Up or down? I don't know. I mean, based on this trade right here, it did let me know it was going to resist though, but I can't get into that sell. That divergence was not the proper divergence for me. I never really look at the long-term trends though, because I am scalping. The long-term trends don't even matter to me. The only thing that matters as far as like long-term goes is the bias, which I need to change the background color over here for you guys, but because it's based on the wrong indicator that's showing right now. But it only matters because of, like I said earlier, my divergence being trend or counter trend, and that's really it. That's really it. So because I still take sales if my bias is an uptrend, and I still take buys if my bias is a downtrend. It does not matter to me. Most of the time it's just going to be counter trend divergence, but still I do it. All right, we got 8 minutes left in the session. The other thing that kind of let me know that this trade was not going to work out, which I would have probably broken even no matter what, is because my entry was too far into this candle. The most I like to see it if it's not going to be one tick beyond the close of the bar. The most I want to see is one tick inside of the candle, and it was probably 2 or 3. Let's see. Close 65, 75. Yeah, it was a whole point inside of the candle. I don't like that, because if I'm scalping, or it was 3 ticks. If I'm scalping, I don't need that to happen. That lets me know that there's too much pressure going opposite of the way that I'm going, which is really important to know when you're scalping, because you only got a couple of seconds to make a decision. Are you going to quickly break even? You're going to let the trade go? So I'm glad I got out. Very glad. Very glad. But the one thing I can say is, despite the choppiness this week, and even though I was red on those 2 days so far this week, after making whatever adjustments that I needed to make to those particular setups that I lost those particular days, I should be okay. Neither one of those days should have ended up being a red day. There were trades that I sat out of as well. Some of them I just genuinely missed. I think I genuinely missed more on Monday, and yesterday I just sat out of ones that were kind of new that I'm still like really iffy on, or just need to see set up a couple more times as I'm watching it, versus me noticing something and going back into the history and looking, just needing to see it set up live a couple of times. But yeah, neither day should be negative days, which is good, because you guys know the number one goal is for my strategy to work in every market condition, no matter what, whether it's trending or choppy, or even if it's a combination of the two within the 2.5 hours that I'm trading. So I think we're getting there. I really think I'm at the light at the end of the tunnel. Fingers crossed, because I am tired of making adjustments. I'm tired. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. All right, let's see, rotation. We got 5 minutes. If we reverse here, I don't want to take the trade right here. I would need it to close below 49.50 first. All right, which just did. Progress. The biggest problem is with I don't know yet if I have to break even at that rotation level or not. That's my biggest problem with the pullbacks to my middle level. Is my middle and the major one, I never know if I have to break even, because when I'm counter trend, I break even at the previous prime high or low, because a lot of times it will resist there. Sometimes it pushes through, sometimes it doesn't. But with these particular trades, we are still going in the direction of the trend. So it's not a prime high or low, it's a rotation level though. So I don't know if I have to break even at them. I have not really been paying attention to that. But it looks like the POC is going to stay in a place where I can't take the trade anyway, and it did. So it invalidated itself. See, the POC was right at the open of the bar, which is a trade I don't take. All right, I can move that out of the way. And those have been working out lately. I want to see how far this one goes, because if it works out, I might have to start paying attention to them again, because it could be that it works for some setups and not others, but I would rather just not trade them, honestly. Because it could be that before that wasn't the problem. The problem was just a different part of the setup. It had nothing to do with the POC being right at the open of the bar, but I don't know. I have to track it. That's what the trade would look like. So if it loses, I can keep the same notion of don't take it if the POC is at the open of the bar, but if it wins, we might have to start tracking it. The green level is not the TP, that's the break even level. And it won. I might have to start tracking it, you guys, because I feel like that's been happening to me the last couple of days, actually. I don't like that. I don't like missing out on wins. So yeah, it might be something where I need to just go back and look, because something else was the problem. That's not nice. I'm gonna keep that there so I remember to write it down when I'm journaling as my potential setup. I'm making this too complicated or simple. Okay, well, here's the thing, the real Iraq. That is your opinion and you're entitled to it. And that's what we'll say there. What's profitable and consistent for you does not work for everyone. It doesn't. Every strategy that is profitable does not work for every person. And if you've been trading long enough, you should know that. You should, because it just is what it is. Not everybody has the same time to be able to trade. People trade different sessions. Maybe they work during the day, they trade at night, so your strategy might not work for them at nighttime. The psychological part of it, which I talked about earlier in the stream, does not work for everyone. People analyze things differently, and some people just don't like certain setups. I have a girlfriend who's been very profitable trading for the last 10 years. A lot of her students do really well. I don't do well with her strategy because it does not work for my personality. I don't like her risk to reward is fine, but I don't like how she determines certain critical levels because I analyze the charts way different. So I might have 30 critical levels while she only has 5 because I'm a super analytical person. So, and sometimes with super analytical people, simple things don't work because we will overanalyze ourselves out of the trade because it's too simple. But I'm glad that you found something that works for you. That is why I'm trying to find something that works for me. Okay. When is Powell's speech over? I don't know. I don't ever watch it. I just see it pop up on the news indicator, and I know that he's speaking, and I don't know when he's actually speaking, if he started, if he stopped, I don't know anything. Yeah, Tony, everybody's perspective. I don't see it as you being mean at all. The past 2 days have been super bullish, almost impossible to lose. That's what you think, though. That's your perspective, because I know people who trade with the trend, attempt to trade with the trend. Alpine just talked about this actually in his comment section. If you go look at his comment section of his stream from yesterday, someone basically tried to make the same exact comment that you made to me. They made it to him, and he was like, well, I've lost the last horrible losing day that I had. I lost when I was actually trading with the trend, right? So it doesn't matter if it's super bullish or not. Everybody looks at the market differently. The time frame that you use, the bar type that you use, all of those things matter, right? So, but again, I don't see it as you being mean. The thing with me is I don't really care about people's critiques of whatever I'm doing because, again, I'm creating something for me. I'm not creating anything for anybody else. If I decide to teach because people ask me to, fine. But I'm creating something for me because I know that everything doesn't work for every person, right? So no matter if it was super bullish or not, that's fine. I think I pretty much took buys today. I might have taken a couple of sales, but the sales still worked, right? The last sale that I took, all right, super bullish. I got into a buy there. That one would have lost if I stayed in it. Why is my computer freezing? But the last sale that I took worked out just fine. So again, it's just a matter of you doing what works for you. That's all that matters. The best thing to do is to generate an automated signal that puts you in the ballpark. Yeah. All right. So let me show you guys what the accounts are looking like. But yeah, I appreciate the feedback. It doesn't sway me either way. But yeah. You guys have to just remember that most people who are on YouTube are not here for advice. They're just here to share their journey. If I wanted advice, I promise you I would put it real big on the screen and tell people to give me advice. But I've been trading for 10 years off and on, which is something that I have to remind people who are new. I'm not new to this at all. I just talked about earlier how it's extremely profitable intraday swing trading, but I did not like how long I was on charts. I just did not like it at all. So that's why I want to scalp. And a lot of people who scalp, they have strategies where like literally it's practically not a strategy. Honestly, it's not super methodical. It doesn't have super strict rules. So one of the things that I'm attempting to do is to create a scalping strategy on the most volatile instrument, trading the most volatile hours with very strict rules and a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, because that's the other thing. A lot of people who scalp, they have a super negative risk to reward ratio, which is not what I want. So what I'm trying to put together is a very difficult task, but I feel like I'm smart and intelligent enough to make it work. It just is taking time because I refuse to complete a full back test before I do it. So I'm using the trades that I take every day to help me to compile my list of rules, which are pretty much almost set in stone at this point. But yeah, I use certain indicators that give me certain signals and lets me know when I need to trade and things like that, or when a setup is possible, because that is important. I use different versions of a half trend. Like, one of the things that I like is a pullback to one of the half trend levels. And whether the half trend goes through the wick or the body of my entry candle matters. It's things like that. So I don't just trade with what you see on the screen. There's other indicators that I use. And that's just that. But anyway, all right, so here's the accounts today. A break-even day, not horrible. I took 6 trades. I took 6 trades. I won. Wait, is this today? No, that's yesterday. Hold on. Hold, please. Today. All right. So no, yeah, I took 6 trades. I won 2, lost 2, broke even on 2. Like I said, I think that one loss is something that I'm gonna end up being able to mitigate. I honestly feel like it was because it was the regular pullback that pushed off of the bias trend change zone. I noticed that it works out a lot better when it's a divergence trade and not a regular pullback. So I'll go through the data today. That's really the only thing that I need to even look at, is that it's something super minor. There would be nothing that changed with the actual rules of the setup. It's just I can't take it going back towards that bias change zone when it's a regular pullback, which honestly makes sense. It just wasn't a rule before, so I don't know. But we still have 2,000 drawdown in accounts 1 and 3. Account 2 is the one that I'm going to purposely fail for the renewal on the 17th anyway. So in that account, I've been trading for a while now. So we're good there. But yeah, overall, it is an uptrend, but there have been some super retracements during New York session. Exactly. I mean, the thing is, everybody trades things different, right? Like this. So this is a 30-second chart, obviously, because I'm scalping, right? So it was a super bullish day, right? Cool. But obviously, once we got about here, we turned into a freaking downtrend, right? I was able to enter one of the last sales of the downtrend and I won the trade. So should I not have entered the downtrend or the sale because we're in a uptrend today? No, you trade the way that works for you. Thankfully, I think it reversed like 1 tick after my take profit, but either way it would have been a break even because it went far enough for that. But yeah, it's just all how you see the market. Everybody sees things differently and you have to respect that. I respect the way that people trade even when I don't understand it. And that's just that. And I think everybody should do the same thing. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day and good luck with the rest of your session if you're continuing to trade. Bye guys. See you tomorrow.